Most of us will spend a large portion of our time and energy into getting something called money. But what is money? We all chase it, yet none of us can define it. Money, just like crypto, just like gold, just like oil, just like real estate, just like almost basically anything you could think of is just a store of value, right? All these things, all these items, everything is just a store of value. And we all as a collective have agreed to this set store of value, and that set store of value transitions, it disperses itself into all these different asset classes, right? It goes into crypto, it goes into real estate, it goes into money, it goes into whatever, you know. And now that we have these vessels such as the internet and all these things that allow us to have this digital age of assets where assets are actually digital. We had NFTs, we have crypto, right? And now you have things you could say like personal brand, like these are all assets. You trade your time, your energy, which is also an asset, for one of for a personal brand. And then now that you trade it for a personal brand, instead of trading it for an hourly job, or for just straight money, because you trade it for a personal brand, now with that personal brand, now you're way high leveraged than the person who just traded it for money. So now you can take that and put into crypto, which is a way more higher leverage thing, because you see all these assets, right? Even though the dollar in total TAM might be bigger, there's less and less going into the exchange between, let's take for example the dollar and crypto, right? 10 years ago, someone holding $100 in cryptos, there's someone holding $100 in the US dollar, right? The store of value, because there's more US dollar going into crypto than there is crypto going into the US dollar, right? So crypto is gonna inflate, or it's gonna go up higher. That store of value, it's growing and it's growing and it's growing and it's growing less than the US dollar. So the person who traded it for crypto versus the US dollar, person who traded it for crypto would be worth 10 times more, and they put out the same amount of energy, same amount of time. Literally, you could work the exact same amount of job as someone else. You both work at McDonald's, yet someone is making 10 times as much as you, all because instead of taking that into USD, their time and energy, they put it into crypto, right? So we're all just trading stores of value for different stores of value, and the people who trade those stores of value the best are the people who make the most money. Now you also have these all these stores of value if you're looking at it from like a third person view, right? And you can just see there's all these stores of value. There's gold, there's crypto, there's real estate, there's personal, but there's every single store of value, even time, energy, experiences, blah blah blah. And what you need to be able to do, or the best traders do, is they predict where the next store, like where is the value going to go, right? Based on maybe a narrative, or based on a prediction, or based on statistics or law, whatever they base their predictions on. And hey, I predict that oil over the next year is going to go up because of XXX, right? I'm predicting the store of value in oil is going to go up, and it's going to be better to put my money into oil than it is to crypto, right? If you take all the stores of value, I think that in the next year this store of value is going to be higher than all the other ones. So I'm gonna focus and take whatever stores of value, whether I have the US dollar, crypto, gold, whatever, I'm gonna put it all trade into oil. And then after a year, I'm gonna reevaluate and maybe put it into something else, right? And so that's all it is. You're just trading stores of value. Like, that's it. Like, even with personal brand, if you're focusing your energy building a personal brand versus the dollar, if you're right, if it plays off, now you've just made more than if you took that same time and energy and put it into just you know trying to get money. That's all it is, right? And there's even people, like, everyone's doing it, even with the experiences. Some people are just like, hey, I just want all experiences, no money, blah blah blah. Like, that's all we're doing is we're changing our stores of value. Everything in life is moving, it's always flowing. Nothing is stagnant, even at an atomic level. You take a microscope, you zoom in, it's always moving. There is nothing that is not moving. You cannot tell me one thing that is not moving. Everything is moving, and that's the same with the store of value. And I feel like it's like we're gonna spend most of our life chasing money, or now it's chasing your personal brand, these other stores of value. But if we're gonna spend all our time chasing these stores of value and trading our time and energy, why don't we like have a objective, idea of what stores of value we're putting it into, and are we okay with that, right? If is it better to put your store value into money versus crypto now? Like, what's the best stores of value to put in this current timeline? What's it going to be in the next 5 years? What's it going to be in the next 10 years? And that's the questions that you should be asking before you try to start a business, or before you try to make money or anything. Even if you have a business, think about it. You're taking that, you're just money. Okay, money. Should I just, take every money my business makes, put into crypto? Is that a smarter decision? You need to think like that. And people are like, I'm just going to focus on making money. But you could take that same time and energy and put into a way better vehicle, make way more stores of value, which is ultimately what you're after. Whether you're after a Ferrari, whether you're after financial, whatever you're after, it can be classified as a store of value. We're all after these stores of value. I hope this helps and kind of trying to understand, what money is, what we're all chasing. Because at the end of the day, we're all chasing the same thing. It's just a store of value. Whether you're trying to be a billionaire, whether you're trying to just live a life where you travel the world, we're all chasing the same shit. And so we shouldn't fight. We should love.